It's good to have you here. My name is Dov Baron. I'm the founder of FullMontyLeadership.com, and this video is about can you and can the companies and brands that you trust pass the integrity test? That's the question. Can you pass the integrity test? When you think about brands, you think about organizations, you think about leaders, and who doesn't say that they're integral? Nobody's going to say, hey, we're pretty unintegral. No. Every company I've ever met, every leader I've ever met thinks that they are, believes that they are highly integral. And maybe they are. But when you think about companies that are integral, who do you think of? What's the company that comes to your mind? Maybe it's Apple, or maybe it's some other company that I don't know. And I'm not saying they are or they aren't integral. I'm just saying that you probably have in your mind companies that come to mind as being integral. When you think about the companies that are integral, how do you know? What is the way that we test for integrity? And the obvious answer is that we test for integrity by simply, do they say what they do and do what they say? And here's the thing about that is, do they say what they'll do and do what they say no matter what? That's the test. That's part of the test. No matter what. So what do I mean by that? I mean that sometimes this is what we do, this is what we believe in, this is what we're about, unless that happens, unless we're dealing with an employee, unless we're in an economic restriction, unless X, Y, or Z, or A, B, or C, that there's a reason to not be integral, that there's a reason that we're outside of what it is that we say and we do. So what we got to do is we got to find out, how do we test out to see whether it's actually true? Are we really being integral? And because true integrity is there no matter what is going on. That's where we stay. That's what we're doing. That's all there is to it. Okay? So when you think about integrity and you think about, okay, it means you say what you do and you do what you say, the deeper test of it is this. How do you invest your time, your energy, and your money? You see, if you say that education is really important to you, that continuing your education, continuing your development is really important to you, that's great. How much time, how much energy, how much money do you put into your development? How much time and energy and money do you actually put in? Or is it just what you say? Well, you say, well, I'm in the personal development field, or I'm in the leadership field, or I'm in business, so I have to. No, really though, check, test yourself. How much time, energy, and effort do you actually put into the thing that you say is important? Because if you say it's important, that doesn't make it important. What makes it important is the amount of investment that you do into it, in your time and your energy and your money. So for instance, if you say health is really important, but you don't have a gym membership, or you don't do exercise every day in some way, shape, or form, or you don't look after your diet, well, you're out of integrity. If you say that anything is important, the test is, are you following it through? So what you need to do in order to pass the integrity test for yourself, or for companies, or for organizations, or for the leaders that you're dealing with, is to check to see if there's an alignment between where they spend the money, where they spend their energy and their time, versus what they say is important. And this really struck me today, and I said it will probably upset some folks in me bringing this up as an example. But I hear politicians often talking about in the US about how they care about vets, and they think it's bad that vets are homeless, and they want to get the vets off the street, and they want to do all these things. And I think that that's wonderful. I think that's fabulous. And if you can do that, you should do it. That's amazing. But at the same time, those same politicians who are saying that those things are important are the same politicians who are backing up a president who wants a military parade that will cost as much. Now listen to this. That military parade, like North Korea has, or like Russia has, that military parade will cost the same amount of money as it would to house every single homeless person in the United States. And I'm not just talking about vets, I'm talking about everybody. To give some people some decent accommodation, you could do all that with that same money. So, listen, I'm not saying it's right or wrong to want the military parade. So don't get me wrong. This is not about my value judgment. It's about the integrity test. The integrity test is, are you truly committed to what you say you're committed to? Does it matter the way that you say it matters? Because if it doesn't, it doesn't. And if it does no matter what is going on. Whether it's good times or bad times, whether it's economic strain or whether it's not economic strain, whether we're under an investigation or whether we're clean, it doesn't matter. The integrity test is, this is who we are no matter what. And here's what I find is that when we go into companies and organizations and we say, are you integral? The answer is, of course. You know what it is. It's yes, of course we're integral. Integrity matters so high to us. Integrity is one of our highest values. It's right there on our board, Dov, on the wall. It says that, we hold integrity at the highest level. Yeah, you know what? So we go through the integrity test. What do you say and what do you do? So I'll give you an example. There was a leader I was working with, briefly, because I stopped working with him, founder of an organization. I asked him about his highest values, and one of the things he talked about was generosity. I had this conversation with a guy who created Giftology. I had this conversation this morning, and he said that one of his highest values, this guy, not the guy from Giftology, this founder that we were working with, the generosity was a super high value for him. Okay, great. So we want to test the integrity of that. So he says, okay, yeah, I'm up for that. That's good. So we do the test and we find out and we ask around, and guess what? He is incredibly generous. Incredibly generous. He gives money to charities. He supports all kinds of people. If members of his workforce are going through stuff, or somebody he knows is going through stuff, and maybe they need to deal with drugs or alcohol, he pays for them to go to rehab. They don't lose their wage. I mean, amazing. Really terrific generosity. So then I said, what happens when the company's going through a struggle, financial? He says, so we test again, and guess what? Still integral, fantastic. So then I say, I ask him the question, where does this not hold true? And he goes, I think it holds true everywhere. Okay, is it okay if I test it? He says, sure. We go to the executives. This is the executives of the same company. These are the people who are like at the top level. And I say, tell me about this person's generosity. Tell me about the founder's generosity. And it's like crickets. There's nothing. Well, you're not telling me about his generosity, so what's going on? Well, he's not generous. He's a skinflint. He doesn't share anything with us. He's not generous with us. In fact, oftentimes he won't even pay for things that he should pay for because he's such a skinflint. What is that about? So I go back to the founder, and he says, well, he's still generous, but they get paid well. So why should he be generous with them? See, the lack of integrity is there because generosity, if that was the highest value, generosity is there all the time with everyone, no matter what. The test of integrity is, do you say what you do and do what you say no matter what? And what we find without a shadow of a doubt every single time is where there's a lack of integrity, there's a lack of purpose. Purpose is this amazing process. Once you get to what is your true purpose, once you get to what is really in alignment with you, not some mission statement or some value statement or something that you think should be right, but when you're truly connected to your purpose, it becomes this clear measure, becomes this absolute clear measure. It's like, this is what we have to do. It's irrelevant what's going on. It's irrelevant what's going on in the economy. It's irrelevant what's going on in the sales room. Here's what we hold as our purpose, and it is the guiding line no matter what. That's the integrity test. Is what you say and what you do always the same, no matter what is going on? So the question for you to consider is, can you, as an individual, as a leader, pass the integrity test? Or do you fail when the circumstances change? Because let me tell you something, it's easy to be good when the situation is easy. But can you be good, whatever that means to you, when it's not so easy, when things are tough? I hope you can pass the integrity test. And if you can't, then I suggest that you really take a deep look, a sincere look at what your purpose is, because that will align you at every possible level. This is Dov Baron, FullMontyLeadership.com, saying stay curious, my friends. Stay curious about your own integrity. Does it hold true no matter what? Dov Baron, FullMontyLeadership.com. I am out.